We must have seen many different things being cultivated, but have you heard of those who grow and trade in ice? This practice, which is very rare in the world, can be seen in Japan. That too, only 5 people are still continuing this farm. Now you might be thinking, what is the big deal in making and selling just plain ice? But this is no ordinary ice. It is natural. Ice farming is something that has been done for over 100 years in Nikko, Japan. When fresh water comes down from its mountains, it is collected and turned into ice. Before refrigerators came, these ice blocks were used to store food and medicine. There is a reason to say that this is agriculture. They are not just cutting the water that is stagnant somewhere and turning it into ice. A special pond must have been set up for this purpose. The soil at the bottom of the stone-lined pond is plowed first, just like a paddy field. If the underlying soil is thick, it will be difficult for ice to form. Fresh water from the top of the mountain is collected into this pond. Surrounded by trees, it is a perfect place to make ice without the sunlight. From the month of December, the water starts to become cold and ice. But at that time, the ice is very soft, so it is usually broken. Later, in the months of January and February, the parts to be cut and sold are formed. The pond begins to collect water when it realizes that a strong cold is coming. This water takes 2 weeks to form ice to the required thickness. Each day, the ice is formed from top to bottom in several layers of 1 centimeter. But these farmers can't just sit back and think that ice will happen by itself. During snowfall, the snow that falls on this ice must be removed at all times. This is because if the snow and ice stay together for too long, the ice will start to melt. And to avoid this, snow removal has been done for up to 18 hours in a row during heavy snowfall. It is time to harvest when the ice is about 15 centimeters thick. Time to cut it. After drawing precise measurements over the ice, it is cut all over with an electric cutter. It takes a special skill to cut this ice accurately and break it apart. These ice blocks are pulled out of the water by a pump and released through a specially constructed channel for collection. Although it looks very simple, each ice block weighs about 50 kilograms. Once out of the water, it is not easy to handle. Only experienced workers can do it. These naturally formed ice cubes have many unique properties over machine-made ice. This ice is very thick due to the formation of several layers very slowly over a period of 2 weeks. It does not melt as easily as machine-made ice. Not only that, the ice can be incredibly clear. It is very difficult to make such clear ice by machine. There will be strong quality checking in every ice blocks manufactured in this way. If there is any problem, they are blown up immediately. These ice blocks are mostly used to make a special type of ice cream. There is a huge demand for ice cream, which is shaved ice and thin layers with fruit syrup poured over it. There is a huge demand for ice cream, which is made by shaving the ice and making thin layers with fruit syrup on it. Those who have eaten it say that no machine-made ice cream can replace ice that melts on the tongue. Ice is cut and stored in a cold storage. From there, it is shipped to the required locations. In the past, when there were no such facilities, These blocks of ice were covered with soil and sawdust. It will help keep the ice blocks from melting. Thus, the ice in the pond is completely cut. The edges are cut with a regular cutter. It usually takes 3 days to cut a pool of ice like this. About 2,400 ice blocks are also obtained from it. Since it is an agriculture that is highly dependent on weather, there is a high possibility that things will not go as planned. Therefore, it is enough to accept the people who still continue this ice farming. Be sure to comment your opinions. See you again with a new and different video. It's me, Third Eye, signing off.